I started with JEA in January, and so I immediately started visiting my communities. I have 11 as a regional director of operations. And when I went to my community in Philadelphia, I realized we hadn't opened yet, and we were getting really close to opening, and we had no one hired. So that was initially like the scary problem. Like, we can't open without staff. So, so at the same time, Kyle was reaching out to me as he was some of the other JEA regionals, and so I got on a call with them, but kind of before that trip, he kind of walked me through my CNA, what we do, and but then when I got to Philly, I don't know, a week or two later, and realized we didn't have anybody, I was like, oh no, this is a problem, because our owners are going to want us open, and this building happened to be delayed 6 months anyway. So there was a lot of pressure to open the building, and rightfully so. So we ended up, I was working with the administrator, and I said, we've got to get a hiring fair together. Let's work with my CNA jobs, and let's put together an in-person hiring fair so that we can get some positions filled. We had, at the time, was unheard of at the time, or ever, we had 20 deposits or so already slated to move in. So we knew we had residents coming, and a lot of residents coming. So we needed the staff. So we put together what we wanted the perks to be. With Kyle, we wanted the sign-on bonus, or we wanted to brag about the PTO, brag about whatever. This is a new community, just really kind of harp on all those things. So our event was scheduled for March 4th, and I made a trip because I wanted to be there and be that resource. And so I get the list, right? Because our administrator was working directly with Kyle. So I get the list, and I look at the list, and I'm like, wow, we have like 50 people on this list. Like, this is so cool. And we have their emails, and we have their phone numbers. And it was just a slice of heaven. So we had the whole building ready for that day. So the first thing in the morning, our first person walks in at 9, and then it was just full on the whole day. We had traffic for a good 3-4 hours. I think we ended up having close to 30-35 people show up. Afternoon, it kind of slowed down. So we had a couple of the nurses that we had already hired. They phoned the other people on the list who didn't make it in and just said, hey, we're still here. We're going to actually be extending until 5 o'clock today if you have a chance to stop by. So then a few more people trickled in. So we ended up making a good, as a result, 12 to 15 hires out of that event. And we were also fortunate enough that we got some hires for other departments, dietary, housekeeping. So I was full on my CNA at that point. This really works. So now fast forward into our current state. Our staffing has actually, in my opinion, it's the hardest it's ever been. We've got a pandemic still happening. We have virtual school happening, so that's compromising a lot of our caregivers' flexibility and availability. And so as a regional, I'm talking to my administrators all day long, and the number one topic we're talking about is staffing, and it's caregivers. And, we need more, we need more, we need more. So I reconnected with Kyle, and I was like, tell me more about this virtual. I need to understand this virtual career fair. I need to see how this works, because I can't travel right now. And what better way to do, support the community. Couldn't believe how easy it was to just open up the video. So now here it comes, right? So Rachel's there. She's, hi, Stacy. And she's, welcoming me. And then as people are kind of coming into the video room, she's greeting them. We're checking them in, the check-in list in front of me. And then I have my laptop where I have kind of the other list, so I can make notes. I put together my script ahead of time, so I knew the flow and could talk through it. And I had, my 6-7 questions that I was going to rotate through. And so all these people just start popping up. And at one point we were up to 20 on the screen at one time. And I thought I'd feel overwhelmed, but it was actually just like a meeting, just like a meeting I would have on Zoom with communities. So we had our first one last Thursday. We had another one today. We have another one Thursday, and then I just booked our fourth one on in a couple weeks. And we've already made 9 hires out of our Thursday fair. But it was twofold. We had people on the screen, and then we also worked the list. And I think that's the recipe, is work the list.